For game 4, Kuchi Gomer Obina. Umpire 1, John Belegano. Umpire 2, Erwin Calzada. This game is under the supervision of our Commissioner Joel Ngo. This is a National Developmental Sports League, ang Liga ng Atletang Pilipino.
We welcome you once again to the National Developmental Sports League Basketball Series.
Yes, take a snapshot of this because this may be the story of the game. This is the St. Clair squad is solid, deep. They won the NAASCU, they won the Commission on Higher Education All-Stars against other champion teams. So you're in for a treat.
St. Clair Saints, just like you said, going up against the Ndsl Believers.
The Saints and Believers. Nice.
Nice matchup right here. But the Ndsl Believers also the AMA University Kings.
Yes.
Just sporting a new look and a new name.
With some additional ingredients.
But it's not Coach Mark Guerrera leading the charge for this squad like an AMA. It is Coach Yong Katikista.
Matagal na ang coach, si Coach Yong.
He is known for being an assistant, right?
Yes.
At this game, or rather this league, he is listed as the head coach. Meanwhile, Lex Gazingan won't waste any time.
A lot of firepower on this St. Clair team. A lot of discipline also.
Meanwhile, Romero tried that 4-point shot even though there's no 4-point shot here.
Belly up foul.
3-0 start for St. Clair. Again, you've said it. Size advantage for the St. Clair Saints. But that shot is no good from Manzano. It will indeed be interesting what the game plan will be for the Believers against the towering Mo Mandiria.
Yes. Good block there.
Villamor greatly bothered. St. Clair in transition. Manzana outside to Lim. Inside to Mandiria up against Kamay.
Then use the backboard. You know, he's looks like Manute Ball running down the court.
To simply say it, you know, he's just really, really tall. As Kamay has nowhere to go, finds Villamor.
Good screen there.
Still scoreless are the Believers.
You know, having a really tall foreign player is really just a bonus for the St. Clair squad.
Meanwhile, the hitman, Lex Gazingan. 5 points and counting for him. All 5 points of the Saints coming from him.
Boy, they're not even getting to the basket.
That's what Lex does best.
Cross-court pass. Everything but the bucket.
Indeed, a fumbled shot coming from De La Cruz. Meanwhile, Villamor to Ceniza.
They're all on the outside.
Palad for a 3. Not that time.
Oh, dangerous pass.
Good thing they recover.
Great save and a layup, but they blew it.
Another sorry miss for Francis De La Cruz. Meanwhile, Palad, the bump. Inside pass to Kamay. Finally, Ndsl getting on board.
Why wait for the shot blocker to come down the floor?
So Lim and company will reset the offense again. Gazingan at the right side. Manzano, short stab is good.
Very simple play.
Simple as it gets. Ceniza putting on the moves against Gazingan. He'll attack.
Ooh. That ensured there would be no three-point play.
The 2 freebies will be given to Earl Ceniza. As they are trailing by 5 points. Both teams playing for NAASCU.
What a rejection.
Could have been a clean block if there was no foul.
Well, the foul came first, I think.
So Ceniza will go 1 out of 2. It's a 4-point game.
A lot of players challenged by the free throw shooting today.
Perhaps it's the new court.
Could be.
The new Met Park Sports Center. It's Gazingan with a fire one.
The pass was a little off.
But again, if Ndsl did their homework, you know that guy is dangerous.
Oh yes. And they could scout because, you know, we broadcast the Ched All Stars last December.
A lot of them are dangerous, actually. Talking about that St. Clair Saints lineup, as off the glass bucket is good for Brandon Dawis. Meanwhile, Lex Gazingan to the cutting Manduria. Oh my goodness, he had bad intentions.
When they posterized somebody, or two or three. Now this is the question, if he can make his free throws.
Indeed, Ndsl would rather foul him than let him flush that down.
Oh boy. And he was still on the way up, but he was already above the rim.
First one, no good for Mo.
That answers the question. He's actually new to the team. They had a different foreign player last December.
But certainly looks very promising. As right now, St. Clair only up by 2 points.
It looks like he could jump out of the gym.
Ceniza using the pick, trying to slice the defense. Nowhere to go. Gets a bucket over the towering Mandiria.
Very high teardrop.
And they will need high arcing shots with Mandiria inside the paint.
You know, St. Clair is still holding back. They're not even attacking the basket.
Exactly. I'm sure they're well aware of their advantage.
They got a great selection here of players who can slash to the hoop. Oh, that's a backing violation.
So Mancha getting checked that time by former UST Tiger Cub JB Lim. But right now we shall turn it over to Daniel Liguardia for a report.
A formidable St. Clair team faces the Ndsl with their mix of Team A and B players, adding their newest import, the 18-year-old Mo Mandiria. And Coach Jeric Bailan has shared that the team is mostly young rookies that have yet to develop, adapting to in-game situations, and most importantly, maturity. With young Mo Mandiria in the picture, Coach Jeric says with his age, it's a bit of a challenge to adjust to the system, which is why it's vital for Mo and other rookies to keep gaining in-game experience to instill the St. Clair system and culture of winning and playing. Sean, Bill?
Thank you very much, Daniel, for that report.
5-man substitution for St. Clair. Again, unusual but not uncommon.
And if you're a basketball fan here in the Philippines, you know St. Clair is a powerhouse. Again, you've mentioned it a while ago, winning the recent, not only the recent, but the past NAASCO championships.
The past 6 NAASCO
To be
championships.
exact.
Yes.
So again, our fans will be the one to decipher what does that mean. And on the other side, another NAASCO member, again, they don the name AMA University Kings in NAASCO, but right now they're the Ndsl Believers. Paklig, fade away, jumper is money. All tied up at 9. Ndsl inside to the open, Talavera. Make it a 2-point lead for St. Clair. Baklig orchestrating the offense, will go left, drops it last minute. No 2 points for Ndsl. Ibanez almost lost it, he does. Kamay.
Really, a lot of scrambling basketball here.
No good from long distance coming from Dawis.
Still nothing. There you go.
Oh, Acosta, a beautiful find to the cutting Leonard Ndsl to make it a 4-point lead for their squads. 13-9, over 3 minutes remaining in our first chapter. We go back to the action.
Yeah, Ndsl was actually one of the outstanding players of the Ched All-Stars last December. I'm glad to see he's still with the team.
Undersized big. At that time, Reed Buckleague making wonders again for Ndsl.
And you know, you can tell that some of these guys are really going to go places as they mature.
That's a fact of life. As Acosta having a hard time, but possession will stay with the yellow shirts.
Still 15 seconds on the shot clock.
Acosta at the sideline. Borcel this time. Acosta at the right wing up against Dawis. Inside Talavera, the fake, step back. Outside again, Borcelo for three. Bingo!
Oh, just in time to beat the shot clock. Great patience shown by St. Clair. You know, the thing about St. Clair is they recognize when they've been in this situation before, so they're more calm about it.
Indeed, with the amount of experience they have, I'm sure they know what to do in almost all situations.
Can you imagine your team has won 6 championships? You don't want to be the one to break that streak.
In and out on the shot from Ibanez.
Oh, simple poke loose. Oh, could have been a foul.
It was picked up by Ndsl. Great hustle. Just couldn't
3-on-1.
make it. Meanwhile, on the other side, another bucket, another 2 points for the Believers. So 16-13, 3-point lead. Acosta, a potential 4-point play. That is Drick Acosta. What concentration being showcased by the sniper. We'll take one more look. Bad foul on the side of Sayat. So Acosta will try to make him pay at the line. And he does. 4-point play completed by Drick Acosta. And makes it a 7-point lead for St. Clair. Villamor receives it. They reset the offense. Buckleague, the pick from Seniza, drops it. Palad outside again. Sinida has 7 to shoot. He puts one up, fading away, it's good. So Ndsl putting up a fight against the NASCO champions.
Now, one thing that Ndsl has going for them is they're unpredictable. Meaning, you don't know who's going to take the shot.
And that's what you want against this championship caliber team in the St. Clair Saints.
You got to catch them off the wrong foot.
Buckleague to Kamay.
Too deep. It was too deep under the basket.
Backing down Soriano. Outside, Palad, step back.
Good coverage by St. Clair.
Villamor, short. Under a minute remaining in Chapter 1. Borcelo thought about the 3, but he was checked.
No look pass inside. Little too deep.
Mid-range jumper now inside. Borcelo.
They're getting a lot of looks at the basket.
Ndsl this time to Talavera.
Great pass.
And you like how they swing the rock.
Yes.
As they're up by 7 points, a chance to extend it even further.
No, the Believers are lucky to only be down by 7, considering how much is on the resume of the Saints.
And they haven't even really capitalized Mo Mandiria just yet.
Yes.
So that is something they will have to prepare for, as Talavera will miss that first freebie.
Once he learns how to post up and to seal properly and just, do a little jump hook maybe, he'll be unstoppable.
1 out of 2. Under 30 seconds remaining. 8-point lead by the Saints. In and out on the shot. Shot clock is off. Ibanez
4 on 2.
attacking and scoring.
Great decision making.
Last 10 seconds. Buckleague being checked by Borcelo. It's down to 5. Almost a steal. And it is. Last 1 second. Borcelo.
Oh, that would have been dramatic. But look at the shutdown defense being played by St. Clair, and they can turn it on whenever they want.
Exactly. Just when you thought it's a close ball game, just when you thought Ndsl was catching up, there goes a 10-point lead by St. Clair to end our first period. And we'll be back for more basketball. This is the NDSL Basketball Series. Back to the action here and the NDSL Basketball Series for the second period of this game between the Saints and the Believers.
You know, it sounds like a song when you say it that way.
The Saints and the Believers.
Yes. And neither of us are Saints.
And don't get us wrong, this is a basketball game.
Oh yeah, and you know, I think for the Believers in this particular game, they really have to work on their execution. But they're isolating a lot of players, but they're not getting the job done.
And make no mistake, a lot of them are actually good one-on-one players.
Yes, but not against a structured defense.
Definitely structure will always be more.
And you know, St. Clair has the luxury of trying different things against them.
Indeed, because again, they know their advantage. At this time,
no early offense now for the Believers. They're trying to spread it out.
let's see what Ndsl has in mind. Outside, Palad, contested three, way off, but Villamor is there. Still not falling though. Dumangkas in transition, steps on the brakes. Outside to Loyola.
They're testing, they're probing the defense.
Soriano to the corner, Nuaso.
Now give and go.
Loyola up against Baklig. He'll reject the pick.
Wow.
Tough shot. Not that time.
Trying to sit in midair.
Garcia, the reverse. Won't work for St. Clair.
Lucky break for...
Here comes the Ndsl Believers. Again, they're down by double digits. They will have to do something about it. Villamor losing it. So a foul called on Garcia of St. Clair. As it's almost 2 minutes passing by in Chapter 2.
You know, it's early enough for Ndsl to really make a difference in this game, but they have to work together, find the weaknesses of St. Clair, and there are not many.
There is Romero, able to draw a foul on his way to the iron.
Yes, I think he's more interested in getting his stance than dishing the ball off. Because I noticed in the first quarter, he dribble up the ball, give it up, then look for a shot.
And hopefully he'll make the shot finally, as he'll miss the first freebie. The second one could at least cut it to just single digits. But he won't. So
Again, as a club team, you're not required to practice your free throws or certain shots or your positioning. It pretty much just comes along naturally.
And against a powerhouse like St. Clair, you can't afford missed freebies like those.
Oh, yes. I mean, let's just say technically they are performing at a very efficient degree. Then again, they miss free throws too. Happens all the time.
It's safe to say everybody struggling in the new Met Park Sports Center.
And
He'll go 1 out of 2.
And every time we say something good when they're taking free throws, they miss.
It's back to a double-digit lead. 11 to be exact. Ceniza, and no good. Ndsl just forcing up shots.
More intensity on the defense, but wow, nice blind side there.
Baklig, no defender in sight for 2 points.
The lead is just 9 now.
Loyola.
And remember, this is technically the second unit of St. Clair.
Yes, just like the report of Daniel, a lot of Team B guys here.
I expect that to change in the next minute or so. They have, what, 14 players on the bench and they've only used 10.
Not to mention Mo Mandiria has limited minutes, at least now. But Reed Baklig, acrobatic move.
Beautiful move.
Cuts the lead to just 7 points. Perhaps a sign of good things to come for the Believers.
Could be. They really have not found a rhythm yet.
Dumangkas. Almost a steal. Doaso receiving it. Doaso outside again. Dumangkas sends it inside.
Unexpected pass.
Indeed, stolen by Villamor. The attack gets blocked. They get an end one. Martinez.
Well, they're gaining ground based on their hustle.
Debu Martinez cleaning up Villamor's mess, leading to that end one 3-point play opportunity.
And bad news now, the starting unit of St. Clair is back in.
St. Clair means business.
There's a lot of pride in this team.
Nevertheless, Martinez will make it a 3-point play.
It is down to 4.
Indeed, you will need all of those points against, again, this St. Clair squad as they swing it around. Oh, they steal the
soft
basketball.
pass.
Baklig against Manzano, the spin inside Martinez, no good. They get it back. Ceniza, contested 3, no go. Kamay with a rebound, no foul call. They get it one more time.
Wow. A lot of outpouring of effort here.
Ceniza the spin.
Oh, he got scared.
Oh, off the window.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Ice Bustamante gets on board with his first shot of the game. More importantly, cuts it to just 2 points for St. Clair. Meanwhile, no good from St. Clair. Kamay grabs the board.
Very good boxing out.
Perhaps he is the one assigned to Mandiria. Just when I say that, Mandiria gets a block. This time, De La Cruz. 2 more points for the Saints.
Great patience. He waited for the defense to pass him by.
And we're hitting the 5-minute mark of Chapter 2.
Oh, that should have been an offensive foul.
Nevertheless, a bucket for Earl the Pearl Ceniza.
But the problem is the defender had his back turned. So, again, not proper defensive posture.
From a 10-point game, it's now just down to 2 points. De La Cruz, no
Oh, there was a
go.
push there. That's a clear foul. But when are you going to do when you're guarding someone who literally is head and shoulders above you?
And now we'll turn it over to Daniel LaGuardia for a report.
Looking at the matchup between these two teams, Coach Yong Katekista of Ndsl Believers is aware that they need to double their efforts, especially looking at the height advantage of the Saints. Not getting pushed around, Coach Yong reminds the players to not relax, stand strong, and box out. They mentioned that the only way they can outplay the Saints is through their system, which has been short of a challenge. And now facing head-on, the Ndsl Believers are adapting their "we are the team to beat" mindset because that is their goal. Cho and Bill?
What a follow-up flush by Mandiria.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Daniel, for that report. And imagine having a hitman in Lex Gazingan and a tenacious rebounder in Mandiria.
Yeah, he's swatting away everything.
Lim outside to Gazingan. The fake, the fadeaway mid-range. Won't fall. Mancha are securing the rebound.
Once Mandiria packs on some bulk, boy, other teams are really going to be in trouble.
It's game over for them. As Ceniza almost lost it, retrieved by Mancha. He attacks. Bothered big time by Mandiria.
Oh, yeah.
Gazingan on a hurry. JB Lim will reset the offense. Shot clock down to 12. Lim inside to Manzano. The reverse. No good.
It's a simple head fake. Got him in the air.
Foul called on Christian Kamay. But again, Ndsl lucky to be only down by 4 points.
Absolutely. But they are in the penalty now. So let's see how the next 3 minutes will go.
Clint Manzano.
Yeah, you're seeing flashes of brilliance from St. Clair, but nothing continuous yet.
Just like always, consistency is what matters.
Yes.
As we're seeing Clint Manzano at the line.
But you made a great point. Everybody's adjusting to this new floor. The bounce of the ball, how much the rim gives.
So the former baby Saint now turned senior Saint. Second freebie for him.
Make him sound so old. Speaking as a senior.
Senior Saint.
Senior Saintizen.
30-26.
But aside from your point about the Believers being lucky they're only down by 4, they're lucky that St. Clair has only scored 30 points.
Absolutely. I mean, with guys like Gazingan and Mandiria on the floor.
And Lim's not even taking any shots.
So we shall see what, St. Clair really has in mind. Aside from their experiments. As Mancha turns the ball over.
Yes. No, you don't want to give St. Clair any openings. Or a chance to get any momentum going.
Lim. Outside dish. Gazingan for a 3. In and out. Manzano gets it back.
Oh, in a crowd. 4 players ganged up on him.
The hustle coming from Ndsl.
Yes, a lot of players, when they're taking a side 3-point shot, they take a step back, forgetting that the sideline is there. Okay, this is a very good combination.
If you're Coach Young, you're not happy about that. But this time, JB Lim, again, manning the point guard spot.
Yeah, he and Ndsl are very good and very athletic combination. There should have been a foul there already.
Mandiria, outside again to Lim. Thought about the 3, back to Mandiria. It is a mismatch, but he won't be able to capitalize.
He didn't want to overshoot.
But a timeout first will be called by the Saints as they're up only by 4 points, 30-26. Under 2 minutes remaining in our second chapter. Back to the action. Gazingan will trigger the inbound. Under 2 minutes remaining in Chapter 2. Mandira still on the floor. Gazingan fires one, makes one.
I like the fact that Mandiria does not get upset when he doesn't get the ball.
And that'll show you the humility from the young guy, the rookie. But this time, a timeout called by Coach Yong Katekista, as this time they're down by 6 points under 2 minutes remaining. Back to the action here for the last 1 minute and 42 seconds of our second chapter. So far, St. Clair with a 6-point lead. Kamay, good on the jump shot from the short corner.
And you know what's very good about the Believers is they are maintaining the effort. You know, no signs of fatigue. They know they're at a disadvantage in terms of size.
And that's what they're holding on to. That said effort.
There's a reach in. And the Believers are already in the penalty. But we saw what kind of adventure it was for Mandiria last time. We can say that his free throws are like fingerprints. No two are the same.
But this time, a chance to redeem himself. And he
There
makes
you
one.
go.
And once he gets consistent, it'll be unstoppable.
Yeah. It'll be a tough decision to foul him.
And he goes 2 out of 2.
Yes. Lucky on the second. Okay, now they're turning up the heat defensively. All you got to do is really slow down the guard, make sure that you throw them off the rhythm, keep him 1 or 2 steps from where he's supposed to be. That makes a world of difference.
Seniza, a couple of dribbles. Nowhere to go. The jump shot, no good, coming from Sayat.
They're so conscious of Mandiria.
The mere presence of Mandiria, just a game changer for St. Clair.
I think they should have given him continuation because it was still one motion. He didn't dribble anymore.
Nevertheless, JB Lim a chance once again to get on board.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
As right now they're leading by 6 points. And he'll miss that first one. Zero out of 2 for JB. If you're Ndsl, you should take advantage of that.
Yes,
Baklig.
they shouldn't waste too much time here because they'll not get the ball back.
He's up against a lanky Lex Gazingan. He's putting on the moves. He'll drop it last minute, but Villamor too late to the reception.
Yeah, bad decision making.
Under 30 seconds remaining. 1 second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. As Gazingan in and out on the shot.
That's pretty early. They could have used up the time.
Baklig. Shot clock is off. He has 9 seconds.
They have 1 foul to give.
Down to 5. Seniza. Kaboom!
They should have given up the foul.
Earl Seniza ending this first period for the Ndsl Believers in great fashion with a 3-point grenade. Another look at that shot as they're able to trim down the lead of St. Clair to just 4 points, 35-31. And we'll be back for more basketball. This is the Ndsl Basketball Series. 35-31 at halftime. And again, the Ndsl Believers lucky enough to be just trailing by 4 points.
Yeah, so far, St. Clair's playing to the level of the competition. They haven't really maximized the abilities of their players. You know, you have players like Lynn, Ndsl, have not really carried the load offensively. Defensively, they're okay. They're in good shape.
And speaking of carrying the load offensively, only one player has registered in double figures this game, and that is Earl Siniza of the Ndsl Believers.
Yes. 11 players have scored for St. Clair, believe it or not. And it's a close game statistically. Rebounding, St. Clair has a slight advantage, 28-23, but you look at points from turnovers, points in the paint, second chance points, fast breaks. Everything is very, very close, even bench points.
And as we're seeing here, the top performers of the half, again, the most for the Saints, 7 points, Gazingan. But then again, you've mentioned it, that 11 of their players have scored. So they'll take that any day against the 10 points of Earl Siniza.
Who do you stop?
It's quite obvious for the Believers. 35-31 again, that is our score. And again, the problem remains size disadvantage for the Ndsl Believers.
Exactly. And we haven't really seen them run yet. We've seen them penetrate a lot, but not try to get transition baskets.
That's one more thing. At any time, St. Clair could just, flip the switch and pull that one out. Pull that height advantage cord out. This time, Kamay, one-hander. Oh, that's money.
They've been getting lucky. Just a 2-point game now, Cholo.
Exactly, they'll choose luck over anything, any day. But this time, Mandiria having a hard time. Not falling for him.
Well, you can tell he's a really young, really new player because his shots are a bit off even at close range. But, again, he will learn. He will get better. He's a monster in training.
Meanwhile, not the best shot perhaps for the Believers.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, Manzano
stepped on the end line.
Another unforced error for St. Clair. We're seeing Coach Gino Manansala on the sidelines, not happy.
The son of PBA legend Jimmy Manansala.
And again, he's not the listed head coach in this tournament, but you can see his involvement. He's standing up. Siniza, the bump, the attack. Not that time greatly bothered. Mandiria secures the board. And here comes St. Clair. Ibanez steps inside. No good on the jumper.
There's a push.
That's called on Leonard Ndsl. Also fairly quiet so far in our ball game.
Yeah, so 0 decibels.
No, not making any noise.
Exactly.
But a chance for Ndsl to tie this game up or actually take the lead with a 3.
They're not playing technically sound basketball, but they are within 2 points.
Exactly, it's been working for them. They don't fix what's not broken.
Well, yeah, they're really winning a lot of points on their hustle.
Borcelo thought about the 3 again. Will send it out. Ndsl almost losing it. Acosta once again from deep.
Really bothered. Ndsl is in this game because of their hustle.
Baklig to Kamay at the corner, outside again to Reed. Baklig, the jab step, the attack. Able to draw a foul in traffic.
Well, smart move. Either way, he was going to get a basket or get a foul. He would come up with something.
So free throws will be crucial. Again, that's one way to tie the game up at this moment or to get just points in general.
Yes.
But a poor free throw attempt. Talking about his first one, but a chance to redeem himself with a second. He won't. St. Clair still with a lead. Ndsl up top. Finds Borsello. Ibanez fading away. That's money.
That's a good shot.
Make it a 4-point lead for St. Clair, a 2-possession game.
They really got to wake up. They're allowing too much from Ndsl.
Indeed, enough nonsense. As Ibanez to Borsello. 2 more points.
Well, it may have been an ugly fast break, but you got the 2 points, so that's all that matters.
So make it a 6-point lead now for St. Clair and company. Ceniza.
Ceniza trying to power his way in.
But clearly they're having a hard time.
Shot
Earl.
clock winding down.
He'll try anyway. He'll fade away. It's working for Earl.
Yeah, players just bouncing off him. That's one way to get a basket.
And he's keeping Ndsl alive in this one. Borsello to the corner. Mandiria almost lost it. And he'll attack.
Nice
Jump
pass.
it to Desabel. You gotta love the unselfishness.
Role reversal there. Now, if you're wondering why Mandiria has tape on his ears, that's because he's got earrings on. And you have to tape them when, to avoid getting them yanked on and ripping your ear.
So luckily our officials allowed that here. But right now we shall trade over to Daniel LaGuardia for a report.
Not taking any moment to dwell on the first half, Coach Mark Herrera says that the score not being too far is a sign of life. The Ndsl Believers only have 5 veteran players, and those players have actually been going through their OJT, which is why players like Baklig and Ceniza are out of condition but still giving their all. He even added that the import of the Saints have been giving them a difficult time, but he knows that they just have to keep fighting for the ball. Cho and Bill?
Thank you very much, Daniel. And what great detail. She said that most of these players from Ndsl are attending their OJTs.
Yeah, they needed a day job. Well, we're lucky. This is our job. Best job in the world.
Exactly. Very honored to cover the games here in NDSL, but we'll talk about that more after a timeout called by the St. Clair College of Caloocan as they're up by 4 points with under 6 minutes remaining in our third chapter. We go back to the action here at the Met Park Sports Center in the heart of Pasay City. So far, only still a 4-point lead for St. Clair.
Now they have to start wondering what's going on. They're trying to execute properly. They have the size advantage. They're even better shooters, but again, they are not able to pile it on, and that really goes back to all the effort of Ndsl.
For some reason, we're only up by 4 points. That is the question everybody is asking. Acosta will attack left. In traffic, puts one up. In and out.
There's just too much defense there.
Romero back in the game. Looking to orchestrate the offense. Gives it to Earl. Ceniza going to work. Earl nowhere to go outside to Romero.
Well, you were saying a lot of good one-on-one players. Shot clock winding down though.
Ceniza, bailout, fadeaway. Won't work for him. And here comes St. Clair once again.
Yes. I think St. Clair might want to try turning up the tempo. Another step on the sideline. Because that 4-point line is confusing. Because they think it's the 3-point line and you have more space on the side.
That's one thing our players will need to adapt to.
Yes. And because not all gyms have a 4-point line. Generally, it's only those where PBA teams practice. And there aren't that many.
Ndsl right now with a possession. They're down by 4. Romero dancing. Changing pace. Dawis for 3. Way off. Villamor gets it back.
Lucky break.
Dawis once again. Still won't fall for Brandon. JB to the left side, Ibanez. Kaboom!
Straight and true, nothing but net. That was big. They needed that. Get some distance between them and the Believers.
7-point game right now. Ceniza.
He's going to take this. I didn't say it was a wise move. I just said he was going to take it.
Well, again, at this point, they're becoming predictable.
Yes. Too many solo plays.
Meanwhile, St. Clair having other tricks up their sleeves. At that time, Ibanez misfiring.
They're just lucky. I mean, the Believers are lucky that St. Clair isn't getting any second shots. Here we go again.
Romero drops it to Kamay. Outside to Dawis for 3. Finally hits it.
Good break for them.
Indeed, much needed distance bucket to put themselves within striking distance. Mandir was asking for it. Ends up with Dumangkas.
I really am impressed about the Believers' hustle.
Ibanez.
That's a rare open shot for St. Clair.
And Romero able to draw foul on his way to the other side.
That puts them in the penalty. Still 2:58 to go in the third quarter. No fouls yet for the Believers.
So Martinez and Palad entering the game for Kamay and Dawis.
No more platoon substitutions.
So will this combination be effective as well for KNZL? Palad going to the other corner.
It's a very small 5, actually.
Palad, no good.
Mandiria sat down, so you can tell he's going to get big minutes in the fourth quarter.
Manzano scoops it up. No go. Ceniza forward
Oh.
dish. Great find to the cutting Ross for Palad.
That was a touchdown. 2-point game.
And again, if you're watching this, there's no typo. The Saints are indeed just 2 points away from the Believers. Gazingan to Dumangkas, back to Gazingan. No good from the hitman.
They're firing too much from the outside. They need to take it strong inside. They're the taller team. They're physically stronger.
Martinez gets it back, but unable to refresh the rim. Gazingan quickly brings it down. Dumangkas back to Lex. He hesitated first.
He was surprised that he was open.
Probably the reason why he missed.
Look at all the orange shirts under the basket. That's one of their keys to this game.
Palad, or Villamor rather, will attack. The spin fades away. That's good.
We're tied, Cholo.
Joshua Villamor ties the game up at 44. With over a minute remaining in Chapter 3.
If I were St. Clair, I'd start to get a little worried. They might want to shuffle the players. Nice little play, 2-man play there.
But Clint Manzano stops the bleeding. Reclaims what was theirs. Romero way downtown.
Bad decision. It's early in the offense. The teammates were not in proper position.
Lim drops it off. Dumangkas, no good on the mid-ranger. But they'll get it back. They keep it alive.
Lim has been content to distribute the ball, but he's very good at slashing to the basket.
Gazingan drawing a foul from distance.
Three free throws.
So a chance for Lex to give his squad a bigger lead. So at the line, it's the 6'2" sharpshooter from St. Clair, Lex Gazingan. As we take another look on that previous sequence. First freebie on its way. Good for the former Letran Squire. Played alongside Andy Hemao. 1 out of 2. One more coming after this one. Third freebie for Lex Gazingan. 2 out of 3.
Lead is 4 points, less than a minute to go.
2 possession game.
St.
Backlig.
Clair relaxed a little bit.
Crazy shot from Backlig. Not the best shot again for Ndsl.
Oh, bad pass, bad pass. Give it to the guard first before you try to create anything.
And that'll send him to the bench by Coach Gino Manansala. Duaso coming in for Talavera with under 30 seconds remaining in Chapter 3.
Little bit of a discussion there with the officials.
Coach Mark Herrera having some words for our officials. Nevertheless, play will continue. Palad against Manzano. He's forcing him to go right, and he does. Outside again to Romero.
Here we go again.
Shot clock at 7. Inside to Palad. The reverse lay-in, no good. The putback is beautiful for Joshua Villamor.
Mental lapse on the part of St. Clair. No boxing out. They were just watching the shot.
That is the exact reason why Ndsl is still in this game. The hustle, the initiative.
All right, they put in Mandiria to avoid any accidents on this last play.
And a chance to cut the lead to just a single point, and Villamor just does that. 5 seconds remaining.
You just got to slow him down.
Down to 3 to 2. And that'll do it for our first 3 chapters. It's 48 to 47, a 1-point lead by the stacked St. Clair Saints, and we'll see more basketball in our 4th and final period. Ndsl so far hanging on to this 1-point deficit. We'll see more, and we'll be back. This is once again the National Developmental Sports League. We go back for the last quarter of this game. 48 to 47, only a 1-point lead by the St. Clair Saints.
And you know what you have to consider is the Believers are not playing that well. You know, they're just outworking St. Clair.
And that has been their bread and butter, at least for this game. That's what given them this opportunity in the first place. As Gazingan lines up a 3, short.
Not the shot they wanted. Ah, that's what he's there for, playing garbage man.
And perhaps that'll be a sign of good things to come for Mo Mandiria.
But the fact that he's in early may mean that he's not going to finish this game.
And we shall see. Only time will tell. Ceniza attacks.
Oh, that was a really hard push.
Great defense coming from St. Clair. They're up now by 3. Acosta, Gazingan, Loyola. Back to Lex. Mo Mandiria.
Oh, he's not going to dribble his way to the paint.
They swing it around. Loyola back to Borcelo to the corner. Gazingan for 3. Kaboom!
Finally.
Make it a 6-point game in favor of St. Clair. That's a quick 5 points for St. Clair.
Yes. They needed that.
with less than a minute actually transpiring in the fourth period. As Villamor turns the ball over back to St. Clair.
Again, too much one-on-one action. They have the talent for it, but not during pressure situation. You want to become a distraction and hand the ball over to somebody who's more open.
And where will their hustle take them? That's going to be the question as time goes by. Gazingan one more time. No go.
You know, once a shooter, always a shooter.
Martinez almost losing it. Nowhere to go. The blitz on him. Almost stolen. Picked up by Romero. Inside again to Villamor.
Very good judgment on the part of Romero.
He usually shoots it first, but that
Yes.
time prompted to pass.
I think he heard us.
So it's back to a 4-point game. Acosta. Jumper is money.
That was what was working for them in the first quarter. They stopped doing it.
Romero, the spin. Kamay, mid-range.
Wow.
Answers back with his own 2 points.
Nice shot.
So it's back to a 4-point
Yes.
game.
You know, one run could decide this game either way.
So defense will be crucial. Mandiria getting fouled. And they'll take him to the free throw line.
What else are you going to do?
So whether Mandiria makes these free throws or not, that is the question. Oh, first one is actually
Yeah.
splash.
After we criticized the first two, he hasn't missed.
So perhaps he does shoot it on a regular basis.
Or maybe those tapes are AirPods and he's listening to us. 6-point game, a luxury now for St. Clair.
So he only missed that first two. And so far hasn't missed his past 4. Dawis could have been big. But it's out of bounds. Possession going back to the Saints.
Yes, and now the Believers are not muscling their way in as they were earlier in Ndsl. That was helping disrupt the defense and getting them more open shots.
And they should believe they can. Inside, Mandiria disrupted.
Yeah, good defense there.
Romero. Outside again. Ceniza. Dawis takes it up to Ceniza again.
A lot of dribbling.
Earl again. Dawis for 3. Again, could have been big, but they get it back.
Nobody went after it.
Romero. Not the best shot again.
And he knew he's gonna sit down. He's a great passer, but he just shoots a little bit too much and at the wrong times.
And that is why Reed Bucklig will replace him.
Big can also create for himself.
Loyola on a rush. Mandiria. Back to Loyola. Gazingan trying to get free. But they won't send it to him. He'll finally have it. But he was picked up as Loyola will fire one and he'll make one.
Nice ball fake. That's important. Now 8 points. Still possible.
Slowly but surely, St. Clair finding ways. Villamor outside again. Reed attacks. Reed drops it. Palad outside again.
They're all scared to shoot.
Ceniza for 3.
Good defense by St. Clair.
And what you said was on point right there. They're all afraid to shoot. We'll talk about that more after a timeout called right here by St. Clair as they're leading by 9 points under 6 minutes remaining in our ball game. Back to the action here at the Met Park Sports Center at the heart of Pasay City. Gazingan, no go.
Yes, he's been spotty in the second half.
And they will need more production from him.
Foul before the takeoff there, and you know, Baklig had only one intention, you know, bowl his way into the basket.
So it's now or never for the Ndsl Believers. They cannot let St. Clair get a 10-point lead or a double-digit lead. As Villamor, and no good on the shot.
And we're still going to see players like Ndsl and Lim for St. Clair. So, or maybe not, to reach in.
A chance for the Saints to stack up more points with their lead.
Ndsl has done a great job of staying out of foul trouble in this quarter. Still have one to give before penalty.
Shot clock resets to 14. Borsello will bring it out from the sideline. Mandiria hands it off to Loyola. They look to set up a play. They do. Gazingan all day to shoot. Way off. Baklig to Villamor. They swing it around. It's now with Pearl. Baklig back to the Pearl. Ceniza puts one up. Oh, that goes in.
I'm not sure who's tapped the basketball in. It might have been Mandiria. But nevertheless, you know, it counts as 2 points for the closest opposing player. So 7-point lead.
We're hitting the 4-minute mark of our fourth chapter. Gazingan mid-range jumper. Still not falling for the hitman. That's Borsello trying to find Mandiria. He does. But there's a violation. Or rather a foul on Ndsl.
Here are the subs we were talking about.
Kamay really trying to lock in Mandiria. But this time it's JB Lim to the cutting Borsello for 2 points.
Oh, his footwork really confused the defense, allowing him to make a good pass.
And that forces Coach Yong Katekista to finally call a timeout as they're down by 9 points with under 4 minutes remaining in Chapter 4. We'll be back. We go back to the action. 62 to 53, a 9-point gap in favor of the Saints. Under 4 minutes remaining in Chapter 4. Again, it's now or never for the Believers.
Absolutely.
Inside, Martinez having a hard time.
That was a great effort play.
In traffic, able to get that one to go, plus a foul. A potential 3-point play for Debu Martinez. He'll be tested at the line for the bonus freebie, and he won't make it. So St. Clair now only up by 7 points as the clock is slowly but surely trimming down. Ibanez to the right side, Lim. Up top, it's Clint Manzano. To the left side, Ibanez will try a 3, and he hits one.
That could be the insurance basket. They're up by 10, 3 minutes to go. You're counting the number of possessions now. So that means Ndsl really has to start hurrying.
Insurance basket is the right term. St. Clair right now with a lot of insurance behind them. As Ceniza and company You can see with their body language, they're pressured.
Yes, and you know, they don't seem to have the confidence to attack the basket like they used to. Well,
Meanwhile, not, again, the best shot for
no,
them.
absolutely. It was a 4-point attempt. And as you pointed out, there are no 4-point shots in this league.
So St. Clair seeing light at the end of the tunnel.
Beautiful move.
Jogo Borsello,
Oh, pickpocket job at the other end.
unselfish play for him. 4 points in a row for St.
Oh,
Clair.
he's put the game away. He's put the game away. One basket and a defensive stop. Ndsl, all they can do now is chuck up 3-pointers and hope they go in.
Exactly, they're desperate for points. As Ndsl gets a steal. JB Lim, 6 straight points for St. Clair. And that forces Coach Yong Katakista to call a timeout.
Could be too little, too late.
Under 2 minutes remaining in our Chapter 4 again. Could be too late, we'll be back for more. Another look at that Jogo Borsello spin move to the cup. Now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah, he just vanished.
And this time, an unselfish play. That's what you love about Jogo Borsello. And actually the rest,
Basket, a steal, and assist.
good for 6 straight points for St. Clair.
Under 2 minutes to play now.
And time may not be enough for Ndsl as they continue to chalk up desperation shots.
It's over. 16 points, a minute and a half, even if you do the math. That's it.
So all St. Clair has to do right now is to burn the clock.
Traveling. A lot of players making that mistake today. That's, I think, the 3rd or 4th we've seen.
And even though St. Clair is leading by a bunch, we see Coach Gino Manansala having words for Dumangkas.
They never stop, these coaches.
That's what you said a while ago, they're never happy. But right now we see Coach Gino just using his phone, so maybe that's their own sign of showing they're happy.
Or maybe he's hearing from his dad. What are you doing?
Most probably. So Seniza has been great all game. But then again, one man cannot do all the things on his own.
Well, in this 4th quarter, he hasn't been doing so well. Also because he's been in and out.
And again, it's inevitable, you know, that the size disadvantage will be exploited.
And I think the system and the coordination, these guys, you know, even the second stringers, they play together a lot more than Ndsl obviously has.
Meanwhile, Palad will scoop it up and in.
13 points.
St. Clair just trying to run the clock. Under a minute remaining in this game, they'll get another offensive rebound.
I think some guys are trying to pad their stats.
I mean, if it goes in, why not? De La Cruz, a chance for a 3-point play. Another look on what happened. Again, he could have just waited for some time to burn, but he chose to attack the rack and get an and one.
74-58. Just waiting for the final score now.
So certainly the Ndsl believers really put up a fight, at least you know, for most of the game, but during the latter part of the fourth period, the St. Clair Saints just really turned on the switch.
Things really fell into place for them.
And showing why they are, for the last 6 years, have been the NAASCO champions. And is looking to win the next ones as well. There you have it, our final score, 74-58. The St. Clair Saints winning this one easily. And again, still a pat on the back for the Ndsl Believers, putting up a fight despite having that major height disadvantage.
I think for the club teams in this tournament, they're getting a taste of, you know, what school level competition is all about. And this is a good starting point for them. So now they can adapt, they can make changes, modify their offense, and see where they can get better.
And it is only our first day, definitely, so we'll see more adjustments coming for our team soon, all of our teams. But right now, for our player of the game, it has been no other than this guy, Ibanez, just finding spots in the floor. Or rather, yes, Jericho Ibanez just finding spots on the floor. I'm sorry, Angelo Ibanez contributing big time.
His mother will get mad at you.
Angelo Ibanez, I'm sorry, contributing big time on the side of the yellow shirts. And we're gonna see the whole roster behind him for our player of the game interview. Let's get it, Daniel LaGuardia.
Oh, the whole team's there. Danielle, do you need any help?
Thank you so much, Sean. Bill, now I have here Angelo Ibanez with 16 points. So, Angelo, you've mentioned that, you're a rookie, you're back in the team. So, how does it feel, contributing this much for your team and getting the first win?
Ano lang po. Siyempre, kahit rookie, nag-ensayo kami. Nag-ensayo kami pa rin ng araw-araw. Before game, yan, kahapon kahit election day, nag-ensayo kami kahit pa paano. And yun lang, sipag-tiyaga lang.
Well, you've mentioned sipag and tiyaga. So for you, with your upcoming games, how do you plan on continuing this kind of performance and winning games for your team?
Like sa ensayo lang po, ensayo lang kami. Train hard lang everyday. Hard work lang para sa mga next game namin. At yun lang. Hard work, always.
Well, of course, you have a lot of supporters watching you. Would you like to say anything to anyone or thank anyone?
Siyempre yung family ko, mama, papa ko, mga kapatid ko, pinsan ko, sa mga mga Ibanez family, Tolentino, Francisco family, Emba family. Tsaka sa girlfriend ko po kay Precious Santos. Hi! Yun lang po.
Thank you so much. Once again, congratulations, Angelo, for that amazing performance. For you and your team, the St. Clair Saints, for winning your first game.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Again, that is our best player of the game, Angelo Ibanez, again contributing big time to that St. Clair W. But stay tuned, we have one more game after this one. The Staglets going up against the Ndsl Believers in our 19 and under division. So we're back to some boys basketball action. So better hold on to your seats, because one more game is coming up. Once again, this is the National Developmental Sports League Basketball Series.